They say that dance and architecture are the two primary arts. That means that you have to have the gesture, the effort, the real effort to communicate with another being, and you must also have a tree to shelter under in case of storm or sun. But the life of a dancer is by no means simple. It's short, comparatively. I'm not an example of that, but I can see that I could not do beyond a certain time certain things. The legs are not suited to that. It takes about 10 years to make a dancer. The body should be pliable to start with, and it should be eager, and it should realize what technique is, what St. Augustine calls the regality of order, which is every time the hand comes up or the foot comes up to a certain level, it should come up exactly that same way the next time, 50 times out of 50. In order to do that, it takes endless training, it takes sorrow, it takes joy, and it takes infinite weariness. But those are part of the craft and part of the joy of it. And when we speak of dance, we forget that the essential of dance is not in words, but is in movement. Now that movement is embodied in each one of us. Barry said a wonderful thing about dance at one time to me. He said, Martha, everybody's born with genius, but most people only keep it a few minutes. And I think that is true. If you don't keep that intrinsic capacity, if you don't keep that attention to the slightest wind that blows, you have no place in the dance. I have a tree in my garden in New York, which was a tiny little sprout. It grows outside the barrier of my building at the back, and there's a wire fence, one of those wire twisted fences that is the no man's land, and then comes this little shaft grew up outside that and wanted the light toward the east, so it turned in the direction of the sun. I watched that little plant. Now it has become a great tree. It's almost as tall as a building, 3 stories. It has embraced this fence so that on each side of the wires through the middle, on each side lies the wood of the tree, and each side bears the marks, the tragedy of its passing, and those markings are the markings of the wire fence. And in a way, that is what a dancer does. You traverse, you come to the light, you work, you make it right, you embody within yourself as much curiosity, you use that curiosity, that avidity for life, no matter whether it's for evil or for good. And the body becomes a sacred garment, which is yours first, and it is your last garment. And as such, it should be treated with honor and with joy and with fear, too, but always with blessing.